What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Chase Vibes back in another video, and as y'all can see from the title, today we're going to be making a unique melody for Lil Baby. It's not going to be anything piano related, so let's just go ahead and get right into the video. Alright y'all, so here's a preview of the loop that I'm going to be breaking down. Alright, so yeah, so that's the preview. So now I'm gonna go ahead and break down how I made the loop. Alright, so first off, I went ahead and pulled up this MIDI from Noah Cuz. Shout out to him, y'all make sure to go follow him. But yeah, so this is what the MIDI sounds like. It's a really weird sounding preset in Analog Lab. It was a preset called Wavelength. It's an ambient pad from Noah Cuz's Antimatter Analog Lab bank. And then for the effects on that, what I did was throw on Portal. I went to the Chops preset inside of the Portal bank that I believe Pilgrim did. And then this is what it sounds like dry. It sounds cool, but the Chops preset just gave it like a distortion like glitch. It was really weird. I thought that was hard, so I went ahead and put that into a wave file. And then next up, I went ahead and layered that with another Analog Lab preset called Dripping, and this is what it sounds like. It was like another ambient pad. I just thought it was hard. That just keeps repeating itself. I put an EQ. I EQ'd a lot of the low and the high end out. This is what it sounds like dry. Versus what they just sounded better. Take the Portal preset off. This is what it sounds like. It sounds cool, but I wanted some texture to it. So I went into Steven and Pilgrim's Portal bank. And I put on the water preset. It's one of my go-to presets whenever adding textures to melodies. And then I turned it down to about 25%, about 21%. And then I click this little sync button knob right here. I think it just syncs it with like the BPM or whatever. It just sounds better whenever I do that. So that's what I do. And I gave it this. It just makes it sound a lot better. So this is what the melodies sound like together. And I believe that I transposed them a little bit. So it was originally, where are we at? I believe B sharp. I don't know, but I did a lot of transposing and I got a little bit confused. So I'm sorry if this is confusing, but I just turned everything into WAV files so it wouldn't be that harsh on my CPU. And I just did some transposing. So that's what these sound like together. Hard. And then what I basically did after that was click on both of the loops, edit in audio editor, which brings up Edison, go into edit properties. So yeah, so next up I went ahead and went into Humblebee's one shot kit, and I got like this AdSend right here, and I just transposed this to the key of the loop, and then I went into Edison editor, and then I resampled it to 8,000 so it would EQ a lot of the high end out. And then I just clicked resample, accept, and then I dragged the new one into here. So now it sounds like this with the melody. And then this one up an octave. So it just sounds a little different. Next, I went ahead and added this texture from XY's one shot kit. Very subtle, but what it sounds like. I just EQ'd some of the low and high end out, EQ'd some of the low end out. Next, what I went ahead and did was added this, where is it at? This little counter melody in Analog Lab. I used the transmission preset from, I believe, Antimatter. This is what it sounds like. And I just had this on 1/3 beat. Doing this, I copied this same exact pattern over here, except changed this one up to G sharp. And then I converted it into a waveform by clicking the little record button right here and then doing Alt R. Then a little rendering mixer track thing pops up and you click start and it converts it into a wave file. And then what I did from there was basically just take this. I did make as unique sample, reverse, then I chopped it up like this every 2 bars. And then bam, drag this one here, drag this one here, this one over here, and this one over here. And what that does, whenever you reverse it, it flips it. So whenever you do that, what I just did was reverse it and then chop it up into 4 sections and then flip it back, is it just follows the original pattern that we had, but it's reversed, so it's not out of place, so it's not gonna sound out of place, if that makes sense. So we'll put this back up. Now we have this. Sounds pretty cool. And then we add that together with the loop. Then next up, I went ahead and added this bass out of Analog Lab as well. Noah Cuz's Antimatter Bank, Infinity sub bass preset. That's what it sounds like. This goes from C sharp to B. And then the way that I laid it out was intro. Then we got the hook. Then we got the verse. And then a nice little bridge right here. So this. And then on the hook, I drop it. I take this out right here. Just leave this. I pitch this. And then I'll go ahead and add our little reverse counter melody, the second part of the hook. And then for the verse, I bring this back in, but take out our main melody thing right here. And then I bring this reverse bell in still, but I pitch it down a whole octave. And then I bring in the second one, but bring it back up to the original octave that we had it at, just to keep. It's just like little things like that. It just keeps it just keeps the listener interested. So now we have this. That's a whole different vibe. And the second part of the verse. And then bridge. And then I usually keep everything in like the first 8-9 bars of like a loop, just so like the person that's playing the loop or the artist can just hear like everything just comes in at once, so they can hear what's inside the loop. So after I laid out the intro and then the 16 bar hook, 16 bar verse, and like the little 8-9 bar bridge, whatever you want to call it, I went ahead and went over to the master channel. I put on a TR5 classic tripper, classic. So after that, I went ahead and went over to the master channel. I put on a T-Rax classic clipper. I selected a little record button, did Alt R, press start, and then I turned it into a wave file. And then this is what we got. So yeah, that was basically that for the tutorial. I hope I explained how I made this loop well enough. I know it was a little confusing for all the wave file and stuff, so next time I'm trying to make it a little bit easier. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something. This loop will be featured in my new coming up 4PF Vibes Volume 3 loop kit that I'm going to be dropping at some point in this future, so make sure to look out for that. It's going to be a bunch of like unique loops and also have like some of the classic piano loops in there. I know people still love those, so once again, I appreciate you guys for watching the video. If you guys want to support me in any way, make sure to subscribe to the Splitmind channel, follow me on Instagram, and check out some of my kits on Drumify. Link in bio or one of these little pop-up links up here. So yeah, love y'all, and I'm out.